Welcome guys in today's video. In today's video we are going to have a look at the fractal that we have been looking at in Bitcoin, which is extremely bullish. We will have a look at the derivatives exchange data profile for Bitcoin right now. We are also going to have a look at when or how Bitcoin potentially could form a top and how did that look in historical price action. And of course guys, we are also going to have a look at Ethereum because Ethereum is doing pretty good. And we are going to have a look, a very important chart as well, at Ethereum against Bitcoin. Is it possible that we are going to see a rally right here in Ethereum against Bitcoin? And I think there's definitely a case to be made for that. So guys, all about that in today's video. With that being said, my name is Sharon. Welcome to the Blockchain Today, the channel where you subscribe for daily crypto videos. Right now, let's jump first into the fractal that we have been looking at. And guys, make sure if you enjoy this content to leave a thumbs up. That is very much appreciated. And here on the right side, we basically see the Bitcoin price action right now. And on the left side, we see the Bitcoin price action from 2020, which was basically right before we launched into the bull market in the big acceleration phase, where Bitcoin just basically went right here from 14,000 all the way up to 60 to 70,000 US dollars. That was very crazy. It happened in a short amount of time because, as you can see right here, we were already getting closer to 2021, as this was the end of 2020. But the interesting thing, guys, from this whole formation is just that it looks so similar to the price action right now. It's kind of creepy. This is also what makes me really bullish on the price action right now. But as you can see right here, we have like this kind of formation. It might even be like an inverse head and shoulders with a shoulder right here, head in the middle, shoulder right there. We have something like that here as well. And then we break out and we get like big spike. And then that spike is followed by a megaphone pattern full of bearish divergences. And a lot of people are talking on social media how this should correct. And I can understand from a technical standpoint that you want this, or that it really makes a lot of sense for this to correct, and it is also possible. But you should definitely consider that this is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has done in the past crazy stuff in the bull market. It is ignoring every bearish signal out there. So don't look at one signal, don't only look at bearish divergences. Just have a look at the complete profile. And that's what I'm going to do with you guys in today's video. So far, guys, we have this horizontal resistance, right? We broke above that horizontal resistance. So far, this level is acting as support. I think that's interesting because if we zoom in right here, we can also see that we had that this level also broke, and then this was holding as support. First time it couldn't hold as support, so we came down, but then afterwards it held as support, and we just went up and we broke out of the megaphone pattern. We also broke out of the relative strength index back then, and here you can see we just recently broke out of the relative strength index in the period right now as well. Also right here, when we broke that megaphone pattern, you can see that the funding was still negative, but it was turning bullish. It was turning positive. Right now we can see that the funding is already positive, so that is slightly different. But overall, guys, the technical structure right here, the relative strength index coming down while price is consolidating in an upwards movement. Megaphone pattern is the same. Funding rates has been negative during the end of this formation right here. Of course, the funding rates were here a little bit more negative, so that's slightly different, but you get the picture. It's kind of a similar profile that we have, and especially the history. Like, this is kind of crazy, that inverse head and shoulders right here that break out the upside. I think this fractal is definitely showing a lot of significance. So what could happen next? Well, that's I'm going to talk about. Like, we right now broke above this level. It is bullish. I'm still bullish, but I'm also going to give you tips in today's video on how you could actually see where the Bitcoin tops. So guys, when we have a look at the derivatives exchange data profile, we can see that the price action has been pretty choppy. And we get some buy-sell signals, which is a little bit confusing. But in general, we can see that the funding rates is coming down. The premium index is coming down, bullish, and the taker buy sell ratio is going up. So from a perspective right here, derivatives exchange data, it's not looking all too bad. It's not necessarily looking like a top, although it is still possible. But from a data profile right here, declining funding, declining premium, it's basically looking like consolidation and maybe a continuation or move to the upside. But if we go to Ethereum, guys, this looks even a little bit better than Bitcoin. So also very choppy price action. Funding rates has been coming down pretty significant. Premium index pretty significant down. And taker buy sell ratio, especially the moving average, is going up. So I think Ethereum in that aspect is looking pretty bullish. And that's also what I want to talk with you guys about later in this video. Because first of all, I want to talk about how to spot a Bitcoin top. And actually that is pretty simple, because whenever Bitcoin is forming a top, we have somewhat of a sideways range. Let me show you. Somewhat of a sideways range. We break out to the upside, we fill, we break back into the range. So here as well, sideways range, break to the upside, failed attempt, go back into the range. Here also sideways range, break out to the upside, failed attempt, breaking back into the range. You can actually see it everywhere, right? This is also a sideways range, and we break out to the upside, fill. Once we break back into the range, that is the moment that you want to sell. Here was also a sideways range, consolidate, break out to the upside, break back in. That is the sell signal. You get the point, right? So that is also something you want to look for Bitcoin right now. If we do see a Bitcoin top right now occur, you want to see something like this. We have this like sideways range, we break out, and then once we break out, we go back into that range quite decisively. So that is a big warning signal. So something like here as well, like it's not really clean, but here sideways range, move, break above the range, fake out, come back in. That's very bearish. You can even put it like on shorter term time frames. Also sideways range was very early though, it's hard to see, but then a range breakdown. So I hope guys you get the point, but that is a structure that I'm looking for Bitcoin to see a top, and I'm not seeing that structure yet. So guys, now we are going to have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is looking beautiful, guys. We have been trading this over on Will Alerts. I've been sharing this formation that the moment we were seeing this higher low and we were touching that resistance, that is the moment we're actually looking for a breakout. I went pretty big long on Ethereum right here, made some good profits, but I'm also very much spot long on Ethereum. So I'm already spot long for quite some time on Ethereum, and I think we can actually see some explosive moves coming, and maybe even next month. So we got rejected right here at the resistance. This resistance level is roughly 2130. I've been pointing that out, that number, because if you really scroll down, you can see that that is actually where the horizontal or the previous high is. So if we can break above 2130, sky is the limit, so to say. But we do have this rising resistance coming in with the small potential that this is a rising wedge formation and that we maybe still go to that support right here at 1700. So that is possible, guys. I would really hope this to break out to the upside. My hopes are definitely that it is going to break to the upside, as Bitcoin is already trading at these levels, already at this resistance, and already surpassed it, and that would mean that Ethereum would be at 2600. And another reason why I think that Ethereum could actually look more bullish is when we have a look at the Ethereum against Bitcoin ratio. We can see that we have like a falling wedge formation, multiple falling wedge formations. Right now we have like this one. We broke down from this falling wedge formation, but we are in this bigger descending channel and actually touching the resistance, already get a pretty bounce off from it. We also traded this one right here on the channel, and over on Will Alerts we also have been trading at this move and actually perfectly taking profits, and when it's been dumping back down, I've been re-entering. So I have to say, Ethereum just in a couple of days made me actually quite a lot of money, and I was also a little bit lucky with that because I was in front of my computer whenever all of this action was happening. But you can see the picture right here. We also had a falling wedge formation. We broke down, kind of W formation, and broke back into the wedge, and then we had like quite a nice rally. This occurred in July, so that is a different time frame, but the yellow arrows right here on the chart are actually November And what we are seeing often in November, we get a small bounce followed by a further correction. And then in December, we get the rally. So here we had like November, small bounce, correction till December. And then we have massive rally. November, or this was October, bounce into November, correction till December, rally. This one is exactly the same thing. Right here is also the same thing. We started to rally in December. This was a beautiful falling wedge formation, a little bit bigger than the one that we are seeing right now. Maybe we could even make it a bigger falling wedge if you would look at it from this perspective, that it is maybe also a like a little bit bigger falling wedge. Anyhow, there's a lot of support coming in. December generally tends to be a good time frame for Ethereum against Bitcoin. That's why I do expect that Ethereum can set a nice rally against Bitcoin, and then I'm also positioned for that. We can see that Ethereum is really knocking on the door of the resistance 2130, if you ask me. So yeah, definitely a nice setup, but for if you want to have that confirmation, we definitely have to break back into this back into this falling wedge. And this is not a weird pattern that we are seeing in crypto, because often we have like this falling wedge formation, break down, move sideways, break back into the wedge, shoot directly to the resistance and break out. This is a pattern that we often see in crypto, but especially in Bitcoin, and it's just very interesting and fascinating. And I think that we might be entering some bullish times for Ethereum. I have to say that I don't think that this is the, so to say, the ultimate low. I do think we can bounce from these levels, maybe even go to this resistance, but along the way I will definitely take profits in Bitcoin. So I will exchange my Ethereum back into Bitcoin, not everything, but definitely a portion of it, because I think there's still a possibility that we could do something like this and we still could come down, right? I don't see this as the exact low for Ethereum against Bitcoin. So guys, that was it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed it. I hope I presented you with some interesting data. If so, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. And guys, I cannot hammer on it enough. If you want to get that extra content, if you want to get high priority content, make sure you join Will Alerts. It is completely for free and it will give you a lot of grip in this bull market. It will give you extra information. It will give you entries and exits. Maybe sometimes you're not really sure about your trade, but you see a post over on Will Alerts which can confirm or maybe invalidate your idea because you get a different perspective. So it's definitely worth to check this out, especially because it's free. The only thing that you need to do is you need to be an active trader and you need to sign up on an exchange using the affiliate link that we present down below in this video. So what you can do is you go below this video. We have 3 exchanges over there. That is Bybit, BingX and BitGet. All of these exchanges are legit, are very good exchanges. I would say Bybit is the best one with the highest liquidity, but you need to have a KYC verification if you want to trade on Bybit. Nevertheless, it's the best exchange, a lot of altcoins, a lot of liquidity. You even get a $30,000 deposit bonus if you sign up with the affiliate link down below, depending of course on the amount that you deposit. BingX is a really different exchange, kind of a new kid around the block, but they offer more things than Bybit. They have also commodities, indices that you can trade. So for example, the S&P 500, oil, gold, you can all trade that on BingX with US dollar Tether. So you can just create an account, deposit crypto and trade indices like S&P 500 or even Forex. You can trade there as well. The crazy thing also with BingX is you don't need any KYC. So it's a non-KYC exchange. And yeah, I think that definitely brings a lot of advantages, because now you can get exposure to Forex, you can get exposure to indices using crypto without KYC. Pretty awesome, right? Then we got BitGet. BitGet is also a very beautiful exchange. It's kind of comparable to Bybit, I would say. The only difference with BitGet and Bybit is that they sometimes offer different altcoins. So on BitGet, we have some altcoins that we really love that we also called in the Will Alerts channel, which you cannot buy over on Bybit. And Bybit has again some altcoins that you cannot buy over on BitGet. So that's why it's also important, in my opinion, that you have multiple exchanges already set up. And you don't have to use every exchange on a day-to-day basis, but at least you have these exchanges set up. So you spread your risk among exchanges and you are prepared for when everything's happening. I think that's very important. I'm myself using quite a lot of exchanges. I have maybe 5 exchanges that I'm using. I have some decentralized exchanges that I'm using. I have Bybit, BingX, BitGet. I also use Femix. So I have a lot of exchanges that I'm using, and I use them all for different purposes, or sometimes just to divide the risk, or have some altcoins on that exchange, some altcoins on that exchange, do my leverage trading on that exchange. So definitely worth. And right now you can just pick one of these exchanges. If you already have an account on the other, you just pick another exchange, for example BingX or BitGet. You create an account, deposit 100, open your first trade, and then you can down below here submit your user ID, email address, and Telegram handle. Then we will check from our side whether you meet all the requirements. If so, then we will add you to the Telegram channel. So yeah guys, for everyone that's interested in this extra information, extra Telegram channel, make sure to check out the links down below in the description. Then guys, I want to thank you all for watching today. Wish you all a beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.